recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Erin Barkley. Hello, Erin.
Hello, Jonathan.
You know, Erin, I feel really good because I finally took time. I've been in this apartment for over a year, and I finally took time to set up one of my actual recording microphones that we used to use back at the house. I've been using like my backup travel microphone for over a year now. So I am pumped, I am excited, and I'm also excited about the group that we have today. With us today, Joe Ngyuen is with us. Hello, Joe.
Hey, folks. How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well.
Diana Kane is with us. Hello, Diana.
Hello, hello.
And Chris Scholes is with us. Hello, Chris.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chris. I reprogrammed your name in Skype a long time ago to spell it wrong so that it's easy for me to remember how to pronounce it. I have it spelled SK instead of CH. All right, guys, I want to get to know each of you a little bit better. Joe, we'll start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hey, folks. I am Joe. I am currently based in Brooklyn, New York, originally from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I am an attorney by day. By night, I am a trivia host with NYC Trivia League. And something fun and interesting about me, I just DJ'd my roommate's wedding.
Whoa.
Yeah, first time being
Awesome.
a wedding DJ. It was a terrifying, stressful, and fun event all at the same time.
I have quote-unquote DJ'd Chris's wedding, and it was not much, and it was definitely stressful. So yeah. I commiserate with you. Mm-hmm. Was it a fun time, though? What was that like for you?
It was fun. I mean, I love being able to pick a playlist, play the songs that I want to play, and it was well received from what I was told. I was the MC as well. I did a little bit of the shoe game. I don't know if you've been to a wedding where you ask a bunch of questions where you say either the bride or the groom, and it went off swimmingly.
That's fantastic. I am glad that you had a good time, and I am glad that you are here today.
Likewise.
Diana, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, I'm Diana. I live in the Sacramento area, California, originally from Maryland, so East Coast, but I'm in the Air Force, so that's why I'm out here. Something interesting, I actually worked the Super Bowl in Jacksonville back in 2005, so that was in your neck of the woods.
You worked the Super Bowl. How did you work the Super Bowl?
So I was in college at the time, and in our ROTC detachment, we did as a fundraising effort, we were working security. So I went to it, but I didn't get to go in.
You were working like on the outside?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My father went to that Super Bowl.
Well, I was there.
I remember, so he's a Jaguar season ticket holders, and season ticket holders for the stadium that it's in get priority for tickets. Mm-hmm. And so he bought them. And I remember they were selling for like $10,000 a piece. Like you bought them for like $400 and you could sell them for $10,000 easy. And he has good seats. And we asked, it's like, so are you going to sell the tickets? And he's like, no, absolutely not. I have probably one chance in my entire life to go to a Super Bowl. I'm going to go. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? I respect that. That's a good little life lesson there.
Yeah. Life experience, not money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Diana, it is fabulous to have you here. And Chris, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Well, good morning. My name's Chris Scholes. I'm a dermatologist, so pimples popped and warts frozen and skin cancers removed and all that good stuff. I'm in Twin Falls, Idaho, and something fun about myself. My daughter spent part of the summer doing a master's program in the Netherlands. We went to the Netherlands and got to see what was going on, and I realized nobody drives. Everybody's on a bike. And
Really?
my town is... Yes. I mean, unbelievable how many bikes and how few cars. And Twin Falls is very, very flat. And so on the flight home, I'm thinking, why do I drive every place? You know, 'cause we're not set up for biking like they are. But I got home, I bought myself a commuter bike, and I've been trying to be on that as much as I can and not behind the wheel.
Nice.
I've loved it. It's, you know, we've got enough trails that you can get from point A to point B without being in traffic. And it's been awesome.
I laughed because you're up in Seattle, right?
No, I'm in Idaho. This was the
Idaho
game.
So
And,
is it as
yeah.
mountainous in Idaho? Because Seattle is hills galore. I would never try and ride a bike there.
No, and if you imagine Idaho, it's kind of the backwards L. At the bottom part of the L is the Snake River Plain, which is right where I live, and it's very, very flat. But if you go 90 miles north, you're in the Rockies. So it's significant mountains there. But where I live, it's pretty much, till you get into the canyon, it is flat as a pancake.
I gotcha. Okay, so it's not nearly as funny as I thought it was. I really thought that story was going to end with, and then I rode around my town and realized that I could not get up that hill.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad for you. That's fantastic then.
Oh, it's awesome. It's been fun.
I'm jealous. I thought you were going to say, you know, why don't we bike everywhere? And the answer is because everything is at least 5 miles away from everything else, and drivers will murder you given the opportunity. But I'm glad it's working well for you, because it's really hard to find, I feel like, bike-friendly cities.
Well, we're trying to put a rec center here, and part of that is to improve the bicycle access every place.
Awesome.
And
That's awesome.
I think I agree with you, Erin. Not every place would work out, but I think here it would, and I'm hoping. We'll keep working on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, we are glad to have you. We are going to have a great game today, and we're going to get it started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
All right, Erin, take it away.
Sure. Orange Cat is lying on my mouse. Hang on.
You know, that is really apropos. Shouldn't he be eating your mouse?
You should be. Don't give him any ideas, please. This morning's Warm It Up, Chris, comes to us from Stephen Yee. So thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
And I double-checked most of these, but feel free to correct me if you think I'm wrong. The game today is Pop-Tart, Oreo, or both.
Oh, God.
I'm going to give you a flavor. You're going to tell me if it is Pop-Tart, Oreo, or both. We're recording this 2 days before Halloween, so it feels appropriate.
All right.
And Diana, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
You get cookie dough.
Both.
It is both.
That was an
Starting strong.
insta-get for you. Have you had both of them?
I've seen the Pop-Tarts, and it sounds like something Oreo would do.
Joe, you get hot cinnamon.
Hot cinnamon. Ooh, that sounds delicious for both. I feel like Pop-Tart's an easy one. I'm not sure.
That was my stripper name.
Oreo. Oh, hot cinnamon?
Absolutely.
Mine was cold cinnamon. It was... I'll just go Pop-Tart.
It is just Oreo.
Oh, wow.
Pop-Tart had the uniced cinnamon ones that were actually pretty great, but they got discontinued because I guess they didn't have enough sugar in them. Jonathan, you get French toast.
I feel like Pop-Tarts are a breakfast food, so they would have gone the French toast route. You know what? I'm going to say just Pop-Tart.
It is just Pop-Tart. Hooray.
That's amazing.
Chris, going to give you...
Y'all couldn't hear my excitement, but there was definitely a flex at the end of that.
Chris, I'm going to give you cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon bun.
Normal temperature cinnamon bun.
Yeah, we've already... I think if hot cinnamon was only Oreo, let's just go Pop-Tart.
It is both.
Cinnamon buns was in the running as well for the stripper name, yes.
I'm not going to sleep for the next 6 or 7 weeks, Jonathan.
Diana, you get s'mores.
Both. I've had both of those.
There you
Nice.
go.
Joe, how about candy corn?
Candy corn.
Oh, God, that's an abomination.
I'm in the minority that thinks candy corn is just fine. It's not my favorite, but it's just fine.
It is just fine, but not as a Pop-Tart or an Oreo.
I'm just gonna say Oreo, just Oreo.
Yep, good news for Jonathan. It is just Oreo, so it's not as great of an abomination as it could be.
And cover your ears, Jonathan. They're actually really good.
Oh,
The candy corn Oreos?
Yes.
What?
Yep. One vote
So
for
with the-
candy corn Oreos.
Is it the vanilla cookie?
Not the one I had was the regular black or dark brown cookie.
Ugh. What was the inside like?
Candy corn. Haven't you been listening?
No, I'm sure they didn't just melt candy corns in between two Oreo cookies.
Flavor was good.
Oh, sounds terrible.
All right. Jonathan, we'll cleanse your palate. You get pink lemonade.
I think that I've seen this in an Oreo. I don't remember seeing this in a Pop-Tart. I'm going to say just Oreo.
Just Pop-Tart.
Oh, beep. I could literally see a pink filling in an Oreo, but that, alas, no good.
Alas. Chris, you get PB&J.
PB&J? Both of them.
It is indeed both of them.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Stone Brewing has a brewery here, and they make a PB&J beer, and it tastes like peanut butter and jelly, and it is not something I'll do a taste every now and then because it's amazing what they've been able to do, but I don't want a glass of it. But if you happen to see the Stone PB&J, it tastes exactly like you would expect peanut butter jelly beer. So
I've had it. It's really, really tasty.
yeah, it tastes like peanut butter and jelly. It's very weird.
Isn't it funny how things that might taste good, but they're in a weird context?
Yeah.
It's like, I think this tastes amazing, but I really don't ever want to drink it again.
I drink powdered peanut butter in my smoothies every morning, and that's fine. Put it in a beer, and I'm like, don't want it. Anyway, Diana, you get blue raspberry.
Ooh, Pop-Tart?
It is a Pop-Tart. I thought we stumped you there.
Wow.
Joe, how about root beer?
root beer. Interesting. I felt like Oreo has the weird, wacky flavors. I'm not sure if Pop-Tart has the same reputation. I'm just going to go just Oreo.
It is just Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to my world, Joe.
Yeah.
Everything you know is wrong. Jonathan, pumpkin spice.
That's going to be both.
It is going to. I don't think anything isn't pumpkin spice anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, pumpkin spice is another thing I don't want in my beer, by the way.
I've never
I
seen
don't
it.
want chocolate in my beer either. Chocolate beer, not a fan at all. Diana, you look surprised at the lack of pumpkin spice love for beer.
Yeah. The only beer I've ever liked, I'm more of a wine girl, not a big beer person, but the only beer I've ever liked was a pumpkin beer in Spokane, Washington at a place called Pipe Steamworks. That's what it was called. And it was the best thing I've ever had.
Wow.
That was the one beer I've ever liked.
The Veil is here, and apparently they're a big deal beer thing. And they'll do like a stout aged over oatmeal cookies and stroopwafels and thin mints with cocoa nibs and Madagascar vanilla, and it's just syrup. Like you want to put it over ice cream, but it's 14%. It's wild. Sorry, I could talk about beer all day. Chris, how about wild berry?
Let's see. Wild berry. There's got to be Pop-Tart on there, but is there Oreo? I'm going to go just Pop-Tart.
It is just Pop-Tart.
Good job. Those are the harder ones to get, I think.
Dana, gingerbread.
Ooh.
You're perfect so far, right?
Yeah.
No
now
pressure.
it's
No
gonna be
pressure.
ruined. Both.
It is both.
Still
perfect. Joe, hot chocolate. Also one of Jonathan's rejected drag names.
Yeah. Hot chocolate.
That's actually where I got this list.
Yeah, no, I went with white chocolate. It was a better pick.
Ooh, that sounds good as both. I'm going to try both.
It is both.
Cool.
Good job.
You got another one off the list of Jonathan's rejected drag names. You get Jonathan's Swedish fish.
Yeah.
It's going to get weirder.
Swedish fish. This is an abomination as well. Swedish fish, candy corn. This is awful. Ooh, I think I've seen one of these. I don't know which one it was, but I remember thinking, oh my God, why? I think it might have been, I'm going to say Oreo only.
It is Oreo only.
Yes. I remember seeing them and literally saying, this is awful. I hate everything about this.
I think I've seen it in the grocery stores as well. I was not adventurous enough to pick one up.
Right? Like,
I'm not going to spend, yeah.
It's a funny sales thing, right? Because you could do free samples and everybody walking by could get that one, and that's supposed to tell you, oh, I like this or I don't, and I'll buy it or not based on that. But they don't ever do free samples of that kind of stuff because, like, oh, that one was enough. I never want to taste that again. Our sales would plummet. Mm-hmm. So you buy it just to taste it, and then you never buy it again.
Yeah. Chris, peach cobbler.
Ooh. You know, somebody's old enough to remember when Oreos only had the one flavor. Peach cobbler, I'm going to say Pop-Tart only.
Correct.
I like it. Good job.
Yep.
That one even sounds good.
It does, right? We'll go around one more time because I have 4 more. Diana, toasted coconut.
Ooh, gosh. I don't think I've seen this one. I'm going to go with Oreo only.
You are perfect for warming up, Chris. It is Oreo.
Right.
Wow.
Nice.
And that was a hard one to finish with, too. Good job.
Thanks.
Joe, you get just plain old vanilla.
Huh. Okay.
Does it, hold on. Does it say plain old vanilla or does it just say vanilla?
Just vanilla, but not any other kind of anything else, just vanilla. And this one's kind of a trap, but
okay.
know.
I feel like I've seen the vanilla Oreo. I'm not sure if I've seen the vanilla Pop-Tart, but it might have been at one point. I'm just going to say both. I'll say both.
So there is no just vanilla Pop-Tart, and this is kind of a trap because the vanilla flavored Oreo was actually the Lady Gaga Chromatica Oreo. It was just plain old vanilla flavored, but it was pink and green. So it looked like it should be something else.
Whoa.
Okay.
I was going to joke and say this was Lady Gaga flavored, but this is a family show. I didn't. Jonathan, cookies and cream.
I think that this is going to be just Pop-Tart because cookies and cream, in my opinion, is literally just Oreo. That cookies and cream flavor is legitimately Oreo flavor. So I think this is just going to be Pop-Tart.
Never doubt the ability of corporate America to put something in something else, even when it's like the exhibit. Hey, man, I heard you liked Oreos, so I put Oreo in your Oreo. It is both.
Oh, my God. Ah, boo. Boo.
Always go maximalist. And Chris, we're going to finish you out with maple bacon because we had to.
Oh, hey.
Bacon? Now, is this things that are available in the United States or just in Canada?
Oh, I don't know. Some of these have been discontinued.
Maple bacon.
Maple bacon.
It wasn't Maple Bacon, so it wasn't.
Nope.
There's no infringement here.
For the Republic of Canada, yeah. I think a maple bacon Pop-Tart sounds good. I'm going to go just Pop-Tart because I can't picture that flavor in an Oreo.
It is just Pop-Tart.
Nice job.
Hey.
Nice.
They make maple Oreos, but not maple bacon Oreos.
Yeah, I think
what Homer Simpson's favorite Oreo would be. I think that's a flavor make it.
That was a very strong warming up, Chris.
I can't believe that Diana went perfect. That was nuts. That was
awesome.
You and me both.
All right. Good job, Erin. Thank you. So this is going to be episode number 451. We are on our Patreon feed, so I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who is listening to this show today. You all are amazing, and we love you. I'll even make a little heart doodad. No, that's not a heart. How do you do? There. That's a pretty good heart. All right, there we go. Oh, we love them. Don't give them the finger, Joe. What are you doing?
It's a Korean
oh, this Korean heart. Okay, no, it wasn't a finger. I got you. Very good.
All right.
It's not Joe. That's Gritty. Anyway.
We blame Gritty for that. I want to remind everybody that the everyday Q&A calendars are now here, loaded, and ready to ship. So when you order a calendar now, it is not a pre-order. You are actually able to buy your calendar and you get your calendar. Go to triviacalendar.com. It is an everyday Q&A trivia calendar for 2024. It is the best damn calendar on the market. You tear off yesterday, you tear off today, you get to tomorrow. Trivia questions every day of the year, written by Jeopardy alumnus Katie Sikelski and lots of you. So go to triviacalendar.com today to grab yours. And today's game, it's going to be Jonathan and Chris versus Joe and Diana. Erin is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness, 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Here we go. As usual, folks, round 1 is vaguely current events-ish. So let's see if Jonathan has studied up.
I have not. Absolutely have not.
Category is upgrades. In a blog post in October of 2023, Microsoft announced that they have changed settings in Excel so that spreadsheets will no longer automatically convert certain strings of characters into what? This automatic conversion is annoying for most people, but in some cases, like in naming conventions for genes, it has forced industry standards to change to avoid it.
This is a case where I'm glad I have a partner because I have an idea, but I need to talk about it.
Got about a minute.
I got about a minute, and I'm staring at 3 dots the whole time. Okay, there we go.
Sorry about that, Jonathan.
Oh,
and I'm good with what you said. I'm not much of an Excel user.
I think that might fit because what you just typed looks like what that is.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think we should do that.
Okay, we can do that.
We're going to lock in.
Okay. Diane and Joseph going to need an answer from you guys in about 15 seconds.
I think we're locked in as well.
Yep.
Too bad.
Oh, were you just waiting so I couldn't talk?
right.
Is that what you were doing?
We decided like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, we did have a little discussion here.
Well, you guys can go ahead and talk out loud.
Yeah, I feel like my first instinct was I hate it when Excel changes the numbers. When I input numbers, it changes to like dates and times and everything like that.
God, yes. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Diana had also an interesting input, which I was kind of convinced about.
Sometimes when you put an equation or like equals whatever, it'll just automatically pick an equation. So that was our other thought. But the dates thing, I think is the most annoying.
Yeah, that's definitely more annoying, and that's something that I personally encounter more of in my Excel life. So we went with dates.
Okay.
All right, Chris and Jonathan?
So I'm an Excel user. I don't use it nearly as much as I used to, but at one point in my life, I was using it all the time. I was really good at it, and it was making me money, right? And dates was the first thing I thought of. Dates are awful. But lots of time, it's unusual in my experience to type a number and have it change to a date. Usually you type a date and it changes it to a number. But in lots of spreadsheets, if you have large numbers, what it does is automatically change it into scientific notation, like 10 times blah, blah, blah to the whatever power. And that is infuriating too. It's like I can't do calculations off of scientific notation. Chris noted that sometimes like in gene names or gene sequencing, it's something times something else as part of the naming. So I thought that felt like a better fit. So we said scientific notation.
So the example that the article that I read gave for this phenomenon, and the key here was that it was automatically correcting these things, and they recently introduced a toggle so you can toggle off the automatic correction. But for example, when gene scientists would type things like membrane-associated ring CH type finger 1, they would type it as MARCH1, and it would get automatically corrected to the 1st of March. And that was annoying. So now Microsoft lets you turn off automatic date conversion.
Oh, look at that. Right. Good job, cool. Y'all.
Well done.
Should have stuck with the easier.
You all said it immediately and then continued talking for 5 minutes. I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? You all said the answer.
It's because to me, dates, it's a number thing. Gene sequencing doesn't help. Like I couldn't get to the point where they were typing words that sounded like date names. Mm-hmm. That was a unique piece of information that would have helped.
Yeah, my genetic background goes back to just knowing how to do a Punnett square back in 7th grade. And
yeah,
beyond that,
love that.
It's just no good.
It's like green eyes. No, it's green eyes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is your PSA. You can now turn that off if it annoys you. Round 1, question 2 category is poor design choices. The Musée Grévin in Paris, which specializes in wax sculptures, recently unveiled a likeness of what multi-ethnic actor and athlete that was significantly whiter than the actor himself. The museum pretended it was a good faith mistake, but the name of his 2022 superhero title character should really have tipped them off.
Yeah, we're super locked in.
As are we.
Y'all want a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Let's 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
The
Dwayne
Rock.
Johnson.
It is indeed Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Have you all seen it? He looks like Mr. Clean. It's an abomination.
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen.
I mean, he looks like himself, just the wrong color. It's
Just
pretty.
pale,
It's not
yeah.
a bad likeness.
I thought it was
No,
a lighting thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, well, the artist used a representation and it wasn't really clear because it was a picture, not just like, just fix it. Anyway.
Photograph.
You used the wrong paint, dude. Get over it.
Yeah, just fix it. Okay, well, that was easy. Round 1, question 3 category is sports. The addition of what sport to the 2028 Olympic program is expected to increase the value of India's broadcasting rights to the IOC by more than $100 million. The men's and women's tournaments will have 6 teams each.
You said India's broadcasting rights, so the event is in India, and they're broadcasting this event, and they're more valuable than they used to. Is that what we're saying?
The broadcasting right of India to the International Olympic Committee.
Okay, got you.
Okay, I think we're locked in.
So, Chris, my first thought is cricket. I don't think cricket has been in the Olympics traditionally, so if they add it, then that would be a big boon to India because they freaking love cricket there.
Absolutely. I just hadn't heard anything about that being added. I know they're adding flag football, question mark, but that shouldn't affect India at all.
I wouldn't think so.
And badminton, I know, is big there, but that's already in the Olympics.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a ton of. In fact, I can't think of another sport that's super popular in India that is less popular in other places or is not as popular in other places.
That was the first thing that popped to mind. I had not heard that was coming. Although that's probably one of those things that U.S. sports outlets probably really don't care a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, undo that. Let's do that.
All right, we're gonna say cricket.
Okay. And Joe and Dana?
Yeah, our first thought was, India loves cricket. They're probably the biggest. That's the biggest sport and probably the biggest country that would, benefit from having cricket. I didn't know if there was a specific type of cricket that you wanted. I don't know if it's like the one where you have to play for 5 days and just
God, I hope
team.
not.
Yeah.
The term is going to
That'd be
start
like-
now, and it'll end in time for the Olympics in 20
Okay,
years.
excellent, cool.
That would be the whole Olympics if it was that
Olympics,
long.
So the sports that were announced recently as new sports for the 2020 Olympics were, as y'all said, flag football, baseball and softball, lacrosse, squash, and cricket. Yay.
Yes. So that's a big squash rating over there, huh? Oh, it's cricket? Oh, no. Okay,
It's
cool,
cricket.
Yeah. They love flag football.
They're huge.
After the first round, Diana and Joe are perfect with 30. Chris and Jonathan not far behind with 20. Yay. Golf claps. Round 2. Question 1. Category is mythology.
Myth.
Yes. That's another one that nobody else is going to get.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you're doing.
I was born in the 1990s.
It's a bit.
Yeah, but Jonathan and I got it. It's all good.
Yep.
The Minotaur is a beast in Dungeons and Dragons and also in Greek mythology. While he can be defeated by any player with a strong enough weapon in the game, he was defeated by what figure in mythology? As a player, this figure would have rolled high on ship part replacement and philosophical conversation checks.
We can lock in.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jonathan.
So, Chris, the ship, I was where it's definitely not Jason. I was it's either Theseus or Perseus.
Not
And I think
Perseus.
it's Theseus. So
think it's-
the ship of Theseus is the thought experiment of if you have a wooden ship and you replace every piece of the ship one piece at a time over the course of years, after they're all different pieces, is it still the same ship?
Yeah, that's the identity discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I would agree completely. It's because Daedalus built the labyrinth, and Theseus is the one who killed the Minotaur.
All right, we're going Theseus.
Okay, Joe and Diana.
Yeah, I knew the thought experiments. I knew the myth. The similar thought experiment is the grandfather's axe. Where it's an axe, so it's a handle on the blade. If the blade breaks and you place the blade, and then you place the handle, is it still your grandfather's axe? Same thing. We said Theseus as well.
I think it's John dies at the end in the movie. The first scene is this monster comes, it goes through the grandfather's axe, and this monster comes and attacks the protagonist. Is like, that's the axe that killed me last time, and they like record scratch. Is it really? Anyway, the answer is Theseus. It was the ship of Theseus problem that y'all clued into.
Woo!
Hooray!
Good job.
Round 2, question 2 category is unexpected candy. A 19th century chemical engineer in Delaware created some foam insulation and was so happy with it he decided to make it into what candy? Today, nobody likes the candy, but you can get them in more places than you would expect given the name. The most common color is orange and the most common flavor is inexplicably banana.
Yeah, dude, I'm 100% with you. Let's lock that in.
Locked in.
Cool.
We agree?
Yep.
Excellent.
We're locked in as well.
Yeah.
You can talk about it, though.
I don't remember how these taste. I'm not sure how these taste. I don't remember enjoying it particularly.
I actually don't mind these. My mom would always get them when we were like little for some reason. But the orange candy that's kind of puffy and peanut shaped is circus peanuts. So we were thinking along those lines, and that's what we locked in with.
Okay. Jonathan and Chris.
I had not heard the story that it came from foam insulation, but having tasted them, I can believe it came from foam insulation. It's circus peanuts.
The kindest review we have of these is, I didn't mind them. It is circus peanuts.
When I was a kid, I liked them. I mean, you can't eat that many of them at once, but they were sweet.
Yeah, based on my taste palette, I'm not sure. Like, I may have. I think the doctors have diagnosed me with a trash mouth, where I just have an undiscernible palate, where I will just eat anything. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's sustenance.
You're the reason for those maple bacon Oreos, I can tell.
It might be, yeah. If not now, then when?
Good job. Round 2, question 3, we're all going for the sweep. Your category is fashion. The most highly specialized team of what government agency will have their next set of uniforms designed by Prada? They haven't needed this type of uniform since 1972, so they decided to make it stylish this time around.
That's a question that leaves me confused. Okay, I got to look for this.
I was just typing the same thing, Jonathan.
Crap, because that was a question, not an answer. That's bad.
I think I got it.
Okay, I think we can lock in.
I really like what you just said, Chris.
I mean, we're going through all of the kind of the typical, okay, military, CIA, FBI. It's like, well, I mean, those guys have had the black generic Secret Service suits forever, and there shouldn't have changed since. I mean, the need hasn't changed since '72, but what has changed? Well, the most specialized team for NASA is going to be the next moon mission, and they're going to have. I mean, not. I know they've redone the spacesuits. I don't think that's necessarily what Prada would have designed, but they're also going to have their regular uniforms. And it was 72 or 73 when those were last used.
The Apollo missions ran from 69 to 72, I believe. Not 69. 69, no, that's the moon landing. It was like 66 or something. There was a very short window.
Yeah, and 69 was the first one that got there.
Right.
So that would be, I guess, the government agency. I would say NASA.
What government agency? Yeah, I like NASA. I think it's a brilliant answer. I love it.
So we'll go with NASA.
Okay, Joe and Diana.
We had a very similar discussion.
Yeah, 72 jumped out to me as a year, like, back when we did moon missions. And I think the upcoming one is called the Artemis mission. So that's what I went with. That's what was my gut.
So what's your answer?
Oh, NASA. Yeah.
Oh, NASA.
Oh, yeah. We guessed the USPS.
They deliver everywhere.
Had a long conversation about Gene Cernan, and then we went with Postal Service. Yeah, it is NASA, and I think they are actually going to be making the space suits. They're going to be functional, but they're also going to look very good.
Oh, awesome.
That's debatable.
Yeah,
Just because it's Prada doesn't mean it looks good.
I'm not getting into that can of worms. You're not. Nope, not doing it. We can have that conversation on the Facebook page. After 2 rounds, the conversation we will have right now, though, is that Diana and Joe are still perfect with 60. Chris and Jonathan still hanging in with 50. Anybody's game.
We don't feel bad, but it wouldn't be bad if y'all missed 1 or 2 here. That'd be cool.
I'll see what I can do.
We'll see what happens.
Round 3, question 1 category is blockbusters. The opening of the Eras Tour movie in October of 23 was the second largest October box office opening ever. What 2019 film was the largest? Set in 1981, it is also the highest grossing R-rated film ever.
A lot of dates in that question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the ones that are like
problem.
Current.
It's just parsing it like, oh boy.
Yeah. You can ignore everything that says October 23. I'm just doing that for people who are listening to this in like 2026.
October release. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's the part about highest grossing R-rated film, and I'm just trying to come up with something that's better, and I haven't come up with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you like that one, let's lock in.
All right, we'll give it a go. We'll lock in. Hey, Joe and Diana finally have to talk.
Yeah. So I feel like I recognize the record for the highest grossing R-rated movie as Joker, and I think it came out around 2019. I never saw the movie. It might be set in 1981, but I feel like that sticks out to me.
And I didn't have anything better, so we went with Joseph's answer.
So you're locking in with?
We're Joker.
Okay. And Jonathan and Chris, what'd you lock in with?
Well, we're either both going to get it right or both going to get it wrong. It feels like it came out around then. I was asking it. The commercials make me think it might have been set prior to the cell phone era. And I know that the Joker was R-rated and made a lot of money. So we went with the Joker.
All of those things are true. The answer is Joker.
Nice. Cool. Thank you, Jonathan.
I don't know about for Joe, for your side, but for my side, that was a hell of a good pull. That was a nothing to something right there.
I appreciated Chris listing all of the things that were happening at that point in time in the world, and it's not really relevant, but good historical knowledge.
Well, the Batman is so scattered over when it's timed out. So Jonathan suggested Joker. It's like, gosh, I mean, you could set a Batman mythos movie in so many years, but yeah.
Yep. Round 3, question 2 category is girl math. Your high school friend Jenny has reached out to you on Facebook to tell you about an exciting new business opportunity. She does not tell you that her company received an F rating from the Better Business Bureau in 2017 for poor product quality, that they were sued in California and Washington for being a pyramid scheme, and they were the subject of a 2021 Amazon documentary about their business practices. What company is Jenny a part of? I can reread that without the swear word if you like. I forgot it was in there.
Yeah, Chris, that's the one I come up with too.
All right, well, we're locked in.
All right. I mean, do you know the person's name, the founder who was like a billionaire and then a nothing?
Elizabeth, is it Holmes? I'm not sure.
That is her name. So maybe, I don't know for the conceit of the question if Jenny is just a random character or if it's supposed to be a clue.
Well, the way that Erin put the question together, it looks like a mid-level marketing. I mean, kind of one of those.
Yeah, and it says her company. Just parsing the question, Erin, is her company supposed to be possessive, as in she owns the company, or is that just saying the company she works for? And you don't.
It's the company she. No, I will, because you're right. I don't want that to throw you off. It's just this is something I think women are going to be more familiar with than men. But yeah, it's just a conceit. It's not the company that she owns. It's the company she works for.
Okay.
Well, that was the first thing that popped in mind because I remember the documentary. I don't remember if that was Amazon or not.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't sound like the Theranos business model situation. Like, I wouldn't think of Theranos as a primarily feminine company.
See, the other one that popped to mind just because of the model would be Mary Kay, but I don't.
Not going to be an F. Way too old. Yeah. What about something like a leggings company or something like that, like a workout clothes company? Like, I know Lululemon, but they're probably good. They're probably not a bad company, but there were others at the time. I love how a cat just meowed and Erin turned to the side and put her fingers to her lips quietly without making a sound to tell the cat to shush visually.
Let me know if that
was sign language.
He went away. He's gone now, so it works. He's over there.
Yeah, I think from the wording of the question, it just sounds like, hey, I'm going to make money if I can get you to join up. And the classic pyramid mid-level marketing thing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be Avon or Mary Kay or what's the other one that was everywhere?
There's one called Cabby, which is it's sort of that same thing. It was a kitchen chef or.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a jewelry company. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Got about a minute.
I bet you this is like a jewelry company because I remember people having jewelry parties in that era of time, but I don't know the name.
I'm just going through sort of those pyramid scheme type things. I would say we just pick one of those MLMs and go for it. I don't have any confidence in any of them.
Nor should you.
Do you want to say Theranos just because it's an answer of a company name that we know where somebody was disgraced?
Sure.
All right, we don't have an answer. We'll say Theranos.
Okay. Joe and Diana.
Okay. Ooh, you were dancing around.
I know. I felt like we were dancing around it.
If you followed the track of leggings.
Oh,
I know. I've seen the documentary. It's about a leggings company called LuLaRoe.
That was there was at the time back then when Lululemon was becoming popular. I remember there being two that were getting traction, and I wanted to think of the other name, and I could not remember it, and I knew it was similar. Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah, it's a very disturbing documentary about the weird practices. Very cultish, very religious, very cultish. And this is from someone that does improv comedy. This is pretty cultish. Yeah, we want to LuLaRoe.
Hey, improv comedy is the kind of cult I want to be in. That's some fun stuff.
Oh, we did that in Philadelphia many years ago. It's a ball.
Yeah.
We are the cult of improv right here.
All right.
It is LuLaRoe. I heard you say Lululemon, and I'm like, I wonder if he's going to fall into that trap. There has to be a mnemonic somewhere, because LuLaRoe's a pyramid scheme and Lululemon hates fat people, but I haven't quite worked out the mnemonic yet. But there's got to be a way to keep them separate. Yeah, and I was worried that I had given you guys more information, because when I clarified the question, you honed in on the MLM thing. But fortunately, you didn't get it. So, or unfortunately, depending on what side of the table you're sitting on, I guess.
Actually, Erin, the thing that the extra clue you gave when you were clarifying was this was more a women's thing. Mm-hmm. That was a big statement.
Yeah, I know. I heard myself say it. I'm like, God, I'm so bad at this. But fortunately, it didn't. It didn't matter. But I would.
Thing figured. So, and most of the MLM things, for whatever reason, are much more targeted at women than men.
They're targeted, in the Lula Rich documentary kind of talks about this. It's targeted at a lot of like stay-at-home moms, or like, the people who want this girl boss energy. You can, if you hustle enough, you can have whatever you want. It's a good documentary. It's really interesting. It's a psychological kind of thing. I used to own a couple of pairs of their pants because they were super soft, but pyramid scheme. Round 3, question 3. Category is innovation. The earliest patents for what Halloween-adjacent, non-candy product and its dispenser were obtained in 1883. It is something we are all familiar with, although we're used to the newer iterations of the product that were originally marketed as splinter-free.
I'm just staring at this question, trying to get it to sink into my head. I love the clues in there.
Thank you.
There, and clearly have clues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, Dan and I are locked in.
Okay, so Halloween adjacent non-candy. I think that's a starting point, right? Like things that are Halloween related that are not candy based. You're looking at pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and costumes. And you mentioned like a fog machine, and this is going to be something that was probably made of wood at some point because of the splinter free, but it has a dispenser. I thought of Pez, but Pez is candy technically.
Yeah. When it said dispenser, I thought Pez and cotton candy, but they're both candy.
Halloween adjacent.
If you're looking at like Harvest Festival type stuff, like a candy apple.
Yeah, I was thinking like the sticks for candy apples, but there's no dispenser in that. So it's a non-candy product that has a dispenser.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking that fog machine would work out until that whole splinter-free thing.
Got about a minute.
This question is a puzzle. I love it.
Yay.
And been around in some form or fashion for 130 years, 140 years.
Like silly string or something. That's dispensed technically.
Yeah. Splinter-free silly string. That's a product improvement.
Yeah, right? Kleenex boxes are technically a dispenser.
Yeah.
Wow, I am completely blank here. There's a thing that is blank in this room, and it is me.
Yeah.
Answer, please.
And she wants an answer.
Please.
Let's just lock in with fog machine and call it. I don't have anything better.
Yeah, we're saying fog machine because we have nothing.
Yeah, got a big bowl of nothing.
My high school had one of those splintery fog machines. We were always fighting over who had to use it. It was awful. Joe and Diane, y'all had a slightly different conversation. What'd y'all say?
Yeah. Our first thought immediately, Pez, of course. But then we read the question and it says, not candy. So my thought was, what's Halloween adjacent? And also may have had early versions where it had splinters. And I thought toilet paper, because people vandalize houses with toilet paper. Early versions of toilet paper probably would have had splinters in it. So, and we're all familiar with toilet paper, so we guess toilet paper.
Jonathan, I'm looking at your face, and you look like the dog in that radio ad. kind of cocking your head.
I'm just trying to think of how toilet paper is Halloween adjacent.
So Joe said it.
Toilet paper in anybody's house.
Yeah, mischief nights, rolling trees, rolling houses. No one really does it anymore because everyone does trunk or treat instead. But it is toilet paper.
That's the answer.
Orange categories. Toilet paper's the answer.
Yeah, I was 1,000 degrees away from that. Never, ever happening. So, okay, so toilet paper originally, was it the dispenser that became splinter-free, or did the toilet paper itself have splinters?
The toilet paper itself has splinters because it was made out of trees.
How did you get there, Joe?
That's amazing.
Let's see. When was the last time? Yeah, when was the last time I TP'd a house? So like last week. Probably this is fresh in my mind. So yeah.
Oh my God, no shade, no shade at all. That's amazing. Good job.
That was all, Joe.
If there was ever anything that's going to keep me awake longer than Jonathan's stripper name, it's splinters and toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, somebody's like, look, that stuff's going to hurt. I'm just going to keep using leaves.
Leaves are naturally splinter-free. While y'all are, and you guys know this, the listeners don't, while y'all have been talking, I've been finding emojis that attach to your comments. And I sat for a while trying to come up with one that went with splinter toilet paper would be awful. Anyway.
I mean, there's that one who's like, I'm still using the 3 shells.
Somewhere there's some guy that has a stash of the splinter stuff for when like his in-laws come over.
Oh.
After round 3. A little more separation. Diana and Joe have 90. Chris and Jonathan have 60 as we go into the midpoint.
Oh, God. We missed 2 questions in that round?
You did.
Oh, no.
I just don't feel that bad about how we're doing. We're getting just steamrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this might be a buzzsaw for everybody. I don't actually know. This is submitted by Bobby Gottfried.
Thank you, Bobby.
Categories.
Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby. Category is sports. I'm just going to read y'all what he wrote. I have what I hope is a fun midpoint question. It is a sports ball question. I will give you the 2 soccer teams in a famed rivalry, and you give me the name of the rivalry game. For example, if I give you Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur, you would answer the North London Derby. Cool?
Excellent.
Can we just take the 0, give them the 20, and skip the question?
You can. I mean, I won't stop you.
So bad. So bad. This
I will
is
read
make me
these.
feel so dumb.
I'm just pleased that Bobby submitted this to me, so I didn't have to be in the player seat when this question
Yeah,
came
right?
up. So thank you, Bobby. I'll read them and then I'll paste them. Just give me a sec because the formatting is weird.
Oh,
All right, you've
Bobby.
got Real Madrid versus Barcelona. You've got Liverpool versus Everton. You've got Rangers versus Celtic. And LA Galaxy versus Los Angeles Lakers FC.
They named a soccer team the Los Angeles Lakers FC.
Did I say Lakers? Los Angeles FC. Sorry. Did I do that? My brain just stuck that in
You
there.
said Lakers.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. That word does not appear anywhere in this question.
Okay.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that is a huge ripoff.
It is a huge, yeah. I do that. Like when I'm hosting, I will read word, like I am reading off a screen and I'll still screw it up. I don't know why my brain does that. It thinks it's smarter than it is.
Okay, I got an answer for number 1. I got one for number 1.
You can talk it out. I think Darren and I have settled.
Get the f*** out of here. You're already locked in?
Yes.
It hasn't even been a minute.
All Joe.
Oh, beep. You're locked in for real?
Yes, very much so.
I mean, we don't have time to come up with funny answers.
Take your time.
We've got a couple minutes.
It's an improv game. We can have a
No,
little
but funny
fun.
answers are only funny if you come up with them in private and share them in public. You can't workshop funny.
Talk it out. Talk it out. It's a writer's room. There are
All right,
there are no
Chris.
wrong answers in the writer's room.
Chris?
Number 1 is Spanish Inquisition. Right?
Yes. I was thinking number 1 is nobody expected the Spanish Inquisition. For sure, Spanish Inquisition definitely locked in.
Okay.
Number 2 is probably the Battle of Bad Food. It's
Okay,
Liverpool versus Everton. I think Battle of Bad Food is the way to go here. We could just call it the English breakfast.
Ooh, I like that even better.
You like that? We'll call that the English breakfast rivalry. Rangers versus Celtics sounds like a mix-up in sports.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's hockey versus basketball.
Or baseball versus basketball. Anyway, so that's the Confusion Bowl.
The Confusion Bowl. Okay, I was thinking
Confusion Bowl
baseball.
for sure. They're confused. And then
And Escape-
Battle of LA for number 4.
Los Angeles.
No, I think there's a possibility Battle for LA might be right.
We could get points. No.
It's possible. No, I'm not saying that because I know something, but it's 2 teams for LA. I mean, it could be like the Hollywood series or something, but I think Battle for Los Angeles is a fine answer.
It is clearly our best shot at not being embarrassed with this question, yes.
Too late. But so we have locked in with whatever we just said because I can't remember any of them.
I was writing them down. Joe, would you like to tell the folks at home what the answers are?
Sure. Okay. The first one, most famous rivalry in soccer, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, is called El Clásico.
That's what we said.
I think we did.
Nobody expected it.
No one expected El Clásico. Number 2, Liverpool and Everton. I'm a Liverpool fan. It's named for the river that runs through Liverpool. They're both Liverpool-based clubs. It's called the Merseyside Derby, or Derby, as they pronounce the word Derby.
The Derby.
Yes, the Merseyside Derby. The third one, I was the least confident in. Rangers, Celtic. These are 2 Scottish clubs, probably the oldest Scottish clubs in Scotland. I think they're called the Old Firm. I guess the Old Firm. And number 4, LA Galaxy and LAFC, MLS, 2 MLS clubs. A take on El Clásico and referencing the notable congestion in their streets. It's called El Tráfico.
We had an El Tráfico question a couple of weeks ago.
I believe you did. I
like ours better.
I do
if
too. If
we'd have thought of El Tráfico, we could have backed into El Clásico. Oh, that hurts. I didn't expect this to hurt.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Oh,
I can wait to read the scores until after we take a break if you like.
no, hit me now.
Okay, Diane and Joe 110, Chris and Jonathan 60.
God bless it. It's exactly what I said, Chris.
Joe, I either didn't know or had forgotten that you were a premier football person, and I don't know that I would have changed this because I didn't have another midpoint, but oops.
Hey, that's a legitimate question. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the question.
It is a great question, and thank you, Bobby, for providing it.
Are you willing to promise that the next round is dermatology?
No.
Screw Jonathan, that's all I had.
So, for the record, all 4 of their answers were correct, including the firm, the Old Firm.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything Joe said was correct.
Gotcha. Great.
Mm-hmm.
The Derby.
That was all Joe. I contributed nothing.
Hey, neither did we. You want to be on our team?
Is there a precedent for that? Just swapping?
There is a precedent for that. We have done that before. Not in a main
Probably
game, though.
drunk-
In an
yeah,
After Dark
drunk
episode, we've done that.
Oh, yeah. Jonathan, it's your show, boss. You can do whatever you want.
No, I'm not going to do that. That seems rude.
I need Diana's team. I need a partner in this one.
You need a sounding board?
No, I just need someone with me.
Yeah, I'm here for all your Pop-Tart and Oreo.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, guys. 110 to 60.
Round 4, question 1. Category is, hey, that's my song.
Hey, it's my song.
That's my song. The 1968 Beach Boys B-side to Bluebirds Over the Mountain was a creepy track called Never Learn Not to Love. Part of the reason it included culty lyrics like cease to resist, come on, say you love me, is because it was actually written by what person who lived with Beach Boys co-founder Dennis Wilson for a while.
How strongly do you feel, Chris?
That's the one that popped to mind immediately.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock with that.
Go,
We're
lock
locking.
Okay. Joe and Dana, talk it out.
Okay, I sent you my guess. Is it Charles Manson?
I have no idea.
I feel like I heard there would have been some alternate universe where Charles Manson joined the Beach Boys, and then maybe all this would not have happened.
Oh, maybe.
It just would have happened to the Beach Boys.
Or maybe that too, or something
horrifying.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, it's a weird thing, but hey.
Yeah, I feel like this is. It might be Charles Manson. It fits like a very culty type of messages, and it fits him.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have an association with Charles Manson and the Beach Boys for some reason.
I defer. I have next to nothing. So
Okay, all right. Let's guess Charles Manson.
Chris and Jonathan?
Well, I'm slightly faster at typing than Jonathan is because he put a question mark at the end of Manson, question mark. And I had just typed Manson. It just rings some bell in the back of my brain. And can you picture him with a guitar?
Well, I remember Manson was like, there's something about him being a musician. So that's in my head. So that's why he came to me as an answer.
Well, and he's,
Definitely
same.
not as
right,
a lover.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Right part of the world and right time. So I couldn't talk myself out of it. So yeah, we locked in with Charles Manson.
It is a good thing you didn't talk yourself out of it because the answer is Charles Manson.
Creepy.
Yay.
Super.
Yeah.
Does he have like writing credits on the songs?
He does not, and it was kind of a whole thing. Apparently there's a book about it that I haven't read.
Not
But
me
yeah.
neither.
Yeah. Round 4, question 2, category is same name. What is the nickname of the two Big Four sports teams who play their home games approximately 1,500 miles apart? One has been in their current city since 1926, and the other moved to theirs in 1972. They share a color scheme and a lack of titles in the 21st century. For the purpose of this question, nickname isn't like something the fans give them. It's the official name that goes with the city and the name of the team. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that way.
I'm just going through some of the other possibilities, but I like the first one better. Yes.
They are?
So that question is yes.
Okay, then I think that's the answer.
Yeah, we're locked in.
We're thinking the teams that have the same names.
Yep.
Rangers popped out to me. There's the New York Rangers.
There's the Jets, also Winnipeg, and New York.
But Winnipeg joined or moved
More
Atlanta.
recently, you're right.
Yeah. What else? Giants. It's not Giants because they don't have the same color scheme. Rangers still sticks out to me because they don't have a title, at least as of recording. Don't have a title in the 21st century.
Yep.
They're both
Blue,
red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers are an original six team. I don't know if they've moved from a certain place to New York in 1926.
No, they all were moving around at that time. So
Don't think it's Panthers. I'm still fixated on Rangers. I can't think of anything else.
New York to Texas, 1,500 miles. Does that sound right to you?
I'd say it's about so. I think across the country is about 4,000 miles.
Okay.
Yeah,
That works for me.
Yeah, I'm impatient. Let's lock in.
Lock in.
Great. What did you lock
We're
in?
locking with the New York Rangers and the Texas Rangers. The Rangers, the nickname.
Okay.
This is an interesting question because in about a week it may not be valid anymore.
And we've already had a Rangers reference in the game about a different sports team named Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rangers, as of recording, are up 1-0 in the 2023 World Series. So this might be the question might go, but yeah, we said Texas/New York Ranger.
I figured I should ask it now while it was still technically true and I didn't have to do any extra work on it. It is the Rangers.
Woohoo!
Yay! I was tempted to move my camera a little bit because that might have been a bit of a hint, but oops. You guys know me and awareness of my surroundings, not my strong suit. Round 4, question 3. This one comes to us from David Abalafia.
Thank you, David.
And I threw this question here that he wrote because I was thinking about him recently because I was convinced we were friends on Facebook and we interacted on one of the pages and he added me and I was like, oh, I got to tell someone David has someone spoofing his account. I got to go out and find him on my friends list and message him and say, hey, man, someone's spoofing your account. And then I was like, oh, no, that's actually him. We just somehow have never become Facebook friends until now. So thank you for the question and your friendship. The category is, Lord, that's a long time. When it went off the air in April of 1980, what TV show was not only the longest-running police drama in history with 281 episodes, but also the last remaining fictional primetime series that had premiered in the 1960s?
I think we should go with the one that you said let's go with. I don't think that the one that I said is not a bad thought, but I don't think it's a cop show.
Yeah, and the other one is not a drama.
Yeah, I agree. I was making a joke. Let's go ahead and lock in.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe and Diana, talk it up.
It's obviously Car 54. Where are you? I don't know why you're taking so long.
That one did pop in my mind.
So what you tossed out?
Yeah. Initially, I tossed out Gunsmoke. I've never seen it. I have no idea what it's about. I know it was the longest running show for a very long time.
Yeah, it's the one of I mix up Gunsmoke and Bonanza with in my trivia mind all the time. I know one of them's like the longest running show like of all time. The Simpsons just beat it out for something.
Yep. That was recent.
But I mix it up either ones, and I don't think I threw out a cop show that I heard of that came out early in that time period. I think Dragnet is the name of a TV show that's a police drama.
Yep.
I think it ran for a long time. I feel like it's in
I've heard of it.
Can we go with that?
If you want, sure.
Okay, let's try Dragnet.
Okay, locked in.
You know, I'm going to be a little bit discouraged if not only do you know everything, but you can back your way into the right answer.
Well, we don't even know if it's the right answer, but he keeps backing into our answers, and that's starting to get on my nerves.
This is how it feels for the rest of us, Jonathan.
Yeah, we went through several, but we came down to Dan Aykroyd starring in Dragnet.
Yep, was a Dragnet.
That's a joke. I'm too young to get it.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was in the movie.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
With Tom Hanks.
He He did the Jack Webb part. It's a good show.
All right. Well, Chris, the good news is they did not back themselves into the correct answer. The bad news is you both put the wrong answer. I was looking for Hawaii Five-0.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. That was a primetime show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I had no clue it ran that long.
And the flavor text.
So, I mean, that's like 12 seasons or so, right? I'm guessing at the number of seasons from 281?
Many, yes. The flavor text notes the reboot was one of the most successful TV reboots of all time, airing 240 episodes between 2010 and 2020.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Apparently. I had no idea.
I don't know anything about modern TV. I mean, literally nothing. That's a long show. I had no idea it was on for that long.
Yep. I'm always surprised about how long the CBS procedurals run. It feels like it's like, oh, that ran for like 2 or 3 seasons. And I was like, no, people watch it every week, and it gets gangbusters ratings.
It's crazy.
It's been around since 1996.
It's all my mom's generation, I think. Like, my mom will sit there and watch reruns of NCIS instead of watching new content. Like, procedurals, my mom's generation loves them.
Well, Joe and Diana have finally missed one. So after round 4, the scores are 130 to the spreadsheet stopped keeping score for you guys. So that's cool.
It's like they're not catching up. Screw them. They don't need a score.
We're still stuck on the soccer question.
Still coming
130 to 80 are the scores. Round 5, question 1. Category is, I'll tell you the category after you answer the question. Although he was not the first player to use it, Jerry Cheever's name is most commonly associated with what specific piece of sporting equipment, which he wore in every game, not just games falling on certain dates.
I think I'm pretty confident in that, actually, Jonathan.
I have a question for you.
No, I ask the questions.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Lock it in, baby. That's high five. I wish I could high five you. That's great.
Gosh.
Cheevers. The name sounds familiar, but I don't even know what sport we're talking about. See, and he wears it every game, not just games falling on certain dates.
Yeah.
It's an interesting hint.
Well, it's probably a superstition thing for other people, not necessarily this one guy. Who are superstitious people, probably.
Baseball players are very superstitious.
Baseball.
Hockey players are very superstitious.
They're just with their beards in the playoffs. I don't know.
Got about a minute.
I'm lost here. Oh, a hockey mask, like on Friday the 13th. He would probably be the first one, not the first one to use it, but commonly associated with the hockey mask instead of just Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's true, because like one guy started wearing it, and then everyone else got on board eventually.
Because they like to have their face not hurt.
Yeah, not beat to hell. No, I like that.
Let's try it. Hockey mask. Let's lock into a hockey mask.
Yep.
Not only did you get the answer, but you took every damn bit of flavor text that I possibly could have come up with for that. So we said hockey mask. Exactly.
If the category had been obligatory hockey question, it might have given away the fact that the answer is the goalie mask.
It could have just been a Halloween question. I mean, we're a few days before Halloween. A hockey mask, traditional costume stuff there.
Indeed. This was in my game from last week. If you Google Jerry Cheevers, what he would do is every time he got hit in the face, he would draw a scar mark on the mask. And by the end of the season, it was covered. He played for Boston, Toronto, and Montreal, I think. And people kind of looked at him and was like, maybe we should all start doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice job, guys.
Great poll. That was a great poll.
Yeah. Round 5, question 2 comes to us from David Raffetto. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Wow.
The category is
got pressured into saying thank you. That's a first.
Category is that's quite the resume. Peter Jackson is best known for directing the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, but between those monumental efforts, he directed 2 non-Tolkien films, one featuring a character who made his big screen debut in 1933, and one based on a novel written by Alice Sebold. Name them both.
We want to name the characters?
The movies.
The movies.
That's it. That's the one I was trying to come up with. Yes.
Okay. I'll trust you on that.
There's your second mistake.
All right. We'll lock in.
I'm pretty sure, he directed King Kong.
Mm-hmm. He definitely did that one.
I believe the name Alice Sebold is only familiar for me because I think she wrote the book called The Lovely Bones.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it. I don't know much about it. I think that's what it is.
Is that the one with Saoirse Ronan?
That might be the Saoirse Ronan movie. Our friend Sour Shoes Ronan.
Yeah. I don't know if Peter Jackson did that one, but it seemed it was very different than either King Kong or Lord of the Rings. So I don't know if that would have been him.
That's the only name I associate with the word. The title I associate with Alice Sebold is The Lovely Bones.
Yeah. And I had tossed out that one movie, District. You said District 9. I knew it was District something.
He was involved in it, like heavily involved in it, but I think the director was Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. It only stuck in my brain because I had gone to South Africa like many moons ago.
I think the director's name was Rando McRanderton.
Oh, I love him. He's great.
He was awesome in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like King Kong definitely, and I think I can't get anything better than The Lovely Bones.
Sure.
All right, let's lock in with those. King Kong, The Lovely Bones.
Okay. Chris and Jonathan.
I think you get bonus points if you can spell the actress that you were just talking about.
Don't give them bonus points, Chris.
It's cool. I don't know how to do bonus points on the spreadsheet anyway.
Good call. No, Jonathan was nice enough to come up with The Lovely Bones because it just wasn't coming together. But yeah, we wound up going with King Kong and The Lovely Bones as well.
Yeah, I have a copy of that on the bookcase behind me somewhere.
Points all around. The answers are King Kong and Lovely Bones.
Very good.
Yay. I will say David's question had you guys naming either, but I decided that wasn't hard enough, and apparently neither was this, but I tried.
It was hard enough. I mean, it took Joe and Diana a good 3 minutes to finalize their answer. That's one of the hardest questions they've had.
That's true.
Just by length.
All right, round 5, question 3. Category is On This Day in Swift.
Category
for the week ending. For the week ending November 5th, 2022, Taylor Swift held every spot in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 chart. What other female artist also appeared on that list? She was a featured artist on one of the tracks, and a version of the song with more of her voice was released in May of 2023.
I wish I knew more about Taylor Swift is a word I never thought I'd think I would say. But
she's generating trivia content every day.
She really is. I have good thoughts about this, but I don't know which one was a featured artist on one of the tracks out of the people that I'm choosing from, and that's very frustrating.
Well, I'm slightly proud of myself because I did recognize both of those names that you typed, and that's about where it ends for me on that. Sorry.
No problem. I think we're going to go with the first one that I said, and since you're bowing out gracefully on this one, I guess I'll go ahead and lock in.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm assuming we're talking about Midnight's, the album that came out last year.
Probably.
I believe Lana Del Rey was on one of the tracks called Snow on the Beach, and it was probably one of those. But you threw out another name.
I was just throwing out names of female voices that were big within the past year or so. I threw out Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish. They have huge hits, and I could see Taylor working with both of them. But you have more insight than I do. I've heard some of these songs, but I haven't listened to the albums. So I wouldn't be able to pick out a voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the May 2023 version of the song. I think she worked with Haim. She worked with Haim's a group as a band, so probably not a singular artist. That wouldn't be the answer. I think Lana Del Rey is the best one I got.
Okay,
let's try it.
I'm good with that.
Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
Well, on our side, the lack of knowledge of who has been featured on Taylor Swift songs really does you in. I do know that around the same time as that album came out, maybe even on the same day, I think albums came out by Carly Rae Jepsen and Meghan Trainor, which ostensibly likely put them in the top 100 during that same week. And so we went with Carly Rae Jepsen.
Okay. For the week ending November 5th, 2022, there were 2 women's names on the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10. One was Taylor Swift. The other was Lana Del Rey.
Well done. Good call.
Awesome.
For the song Snow on the Beach. Nice job.
No.
Awesome. Which I...
No.
After round 5, Chris and Jonathan have 100. Diane and Joe have 160 going into round 6.
Damn. That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Round 6, question 1, category is television.
TV.
Airing from 1994 to 2001, Reboot was the first completely computer-animated TV series. It chronicled the adventures of Bob, Enzo, and Dot Matrix as they fought the evil viruses. One virus was named for a unit of digital information, the other for a base 16 numbering system. Please name them both.
A base 16 numbering system?
Yes, but based on the tone of your voice, I'm going to make sure that's actually a correct characterization. Yes.
Hey, just out of curiosity, who in this group has actually owned a dot matrix printer?
No.
Oh, wow.
There was one in my house when I was a kid.
Okay, that hurt a lot.
I remember that sound well. Okay, going with you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll lock in.
All right, Diane and Joe, talk it out.
Okay.
Oh.
I've never seen the show. I've only
Nope.
I think I've seen images of the show. It's weird, I don't know, blue, gray skin folks, and it's from Canada, and it's really weird. I'm pretty sure that the only base 16 numbering system I know is hexadecimal. The other unit of digital information, I threw out byte, possibly megabyte or gigabyte or kilobyte.
I feel like that would be a good villain name,
Yeah.
Megabyte.
I just got to figure out.
A great villain name.
Yeah.
Evil Lord Megabyte.
I can't come up with a better one than.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Whatever you want.
Hexadecimal, and let's try megabyte. See if it sticks.
Sure.
Okay. Chris and Jonathan?
Well, I know absolutely nothing whatsoever about the show Reboot, but I would agree with Joe that the base 16 numbering system is hexadecimal. And the way that I read the question, at least how it worked in my brain, it said a unit of digital information. So I went all the way back to the basic unit, the penny rather than the dollar. So we said hexadecimal and byte rather than megabyte, kilobyte, or any of the rest.
We also considered bit, which is very concerning because that is the base.
Well, 8 bytes to a bit.
No, 8 bits to a byte.
Bits to a byte? Then I got that backwards.
Oh, beep. All right, well, we're about to see.
I was thinking the other way around.
The good news is that doesn't matter. You were both correct that hexadecimal is a base 16 numbering system, but the unit of digital information villain from Reboot was megabyte.
Yes.
Wow.
It is
villain name.
It's just
It is a weird show.
It's one of those days, Jonathan. I'm sorry.
I mean, a unit of digital information. There's lots of those. We assumed that it was going to go down to a base unit or a small unit. We could have named a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'd assume that someone other than me liked the TV show, but apparently not.
I don't know. What channel was it on?
I don't remember.
Was it a Nickelodeon show?
It was the period of my life where you had to either you to find the remote, which was always somewhere else, or you had to walk up to manually change it on the TV. So
yeah.
Round 6, question 2, category is doing your civic duty. Before he was responsible for the deaths of a lot of people and a lot of angst for Kool-Aid's marketing team, Jim Jones was the chairman of the housing authority in what U.S. city? This was as a thank you for getting George Moscone elected mayor in 1975, and the agency probably had a lot less to do in the 70s than it does today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's my first thought, but I'm going to go over my head.
You're going to go over your head? That's impressive. Let me go over my own head here. Yeah, I don't have anything on this one, man. So whatever you want to say is going to be A-okay with me.
There's one other city that I'm thinking of, but...
All right, we can lock in.
Okay, here's where I'm coming from, Jonathan.
Talk to me, baby. We
have our big national meetings at various places, and one of them is the Moscone Convention Center.
Oh.
I think that's San Francisco. The other, I know it's not D.C., the other one that I can picture the place, but I don't remember the name, is in New Orleans. But I think Moscone is San Francisco.
I like San Francisco better than New Orleans.
Yeah. I think Moscone is because what's the one in San Diego? That's not Moscone.
It's Boscone. It's very different.
There you go. Just thinking of different places that we've done these. I think it's San Francisco. And if it's not, then I got nothing.
All right, we're going to say San Francisco.
What'd y'all say?
Yeah, George Moscone jumped out at me. I believe he and Harvey Milk were assassinated possibly same day.
Whoa.
In San Francisco. So we went to San Francisco. I think the New Orleans Convention Center, I believe, is the Ernest Memorial Center. I remember because I went to law school there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, we went with San Francisco.
Yeah, well, there goes my flavor text. It is San Francisco.
I think we need to bring Joe on more often so he can become a villain character on the show.
I'm happy to be the enemy of the podcast. We have so many friends of the podcast. We don't have any enemies of the podcast.
An enemy of the podcast. The way that you're like, oh yeah, this other very obscure random piece of information is probably that. It's like, well, you know what? You. How about that? How about them apples?
You could have a handicap system by just making him drink a lot before he shows up.
What makes you think I haven't?
I'm in awe if you have.
I don't know if you've seen the movie Another Round, where the thought is that you have to be a certain level of drunk just because you're born with a certain low blood alcohol content, and your optimal level is that you have to be a certain amount of buzz to be the best person you can be.
But the way this is going, I'm willing to experiment. I'll take it. No, you're amazing, Joe. You've been doing wonderfully.
Thank you.
Yep. Round 6, question 3, category is film firsts. While artistic innovators like Marcel Duchamp and Maurice Cattelan brought the everyday object into art galleries, it was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho that it was first seen and heard on film. What is it?
Oh, I like your answer.
That's just what popped into my head.
Yeah, I like the answer. I think we locked that in.
Diana and Joe, what you got?
Yeah, Marcel Duchamp notably sculpted a urinal, a toilet. I think he called it the Fountain. I think it's a bit of trivia that Psycho was the first to include a toilet on film.
Yeah, they definitely have the bathroom scene. So I could totally see the toilet being in there too. It's been a while since I've seen the film, but that sounds good to me.
Let's try toilet.
Judy, I'll do the sound effects.
Okay, Jonathan and Chris.
As soon as you said that, it just popped to mind that was the first time a toilet was seen and heard on a film.
You know, I wonder if it would have been more sinister, like doing the whole having somebody come in with a knife and murder you in the shower, obviously dramatic and terrifying. I wonder if it would have been more sinister if the victim had been on the toilet at the time as opposed to being in the shower.
Died like Elvis.
It feels almost more defenseless.
And I don't know if this is true, but I heard that just doing that scene traumatized Janet Leigh enough that she did not take another shower for the rest of her life. I have no idea if that's true, but it's on the internet. It must be true.
That can't be true. That would ruin her Hollywood career for sure. Did she ever do another movie?
You can take a bath. You just can't take a shower.
How is a bath more defensible than a shower?
I don't know. That's just what
brains are weird.
Baseless rumors here. Just give me a minute.
All right, so it is toilet. The Duchamp sculpture Fountain was a urinal. The gold-plated toilet was called America, and it was stolen, and I think it remains unfound. But yeah, it is a toilet.
It's in the White House.
It's in the Trump Tower.
Trump's bathroom.
Going into the gauntlet. Your gauntlet category is, if we didn't start it, who did? Diana and Joe have 190. Chris and Jonathan have 120. Place your bets.
You said 190 to 120?
Yes.
Okay, we're locked in with a bet.
Yeah, I mean, you just typed it faster than I did, Jonathan. I agree with you 100%.
You agree with the math?
Yeah, nope, that's exactly where I was going to go.
All right, our wager's locked in.
Okay. Gauntlet question 1. Category is, if we didn't start it, who did? Although the Nebraska Supreme Court ruled it cruel and unusual in 2008, what form of execution is still used in 5 U.S. states? 3 other states allow for its use only if the preferred method of state-sponsored murder is deemed unconstitutional. I don't think dirty jokes would make anyone on death row smile, but who knows?
That's the most unusual collection of 4 words I've ever seen together, Jonathan.
So the reason I say that is this.
Aha.
You see where I'm going with that statement?
Yeah.
Okay, we're locked in on our side.
So our answer's locked in.
Gauntlet question 2. A big, romantic, passionate, panicky man lives on what street in Little Italy? It shares its name with a fruit that grows on trees but is hard to harvest and has a short shelf life, so you're unlikely to find them in stores. It is also the name of a British clothing company and many U.S. localities.
Jesus. My phone hates the word is. It changes
That's
it
unfortunate.
to I'd or us every time.
I think we can lock in.
Our answer's locked in.
And number 3, for the spring 2022 collection, Balenciaga partnered with Crocs to produce a knee-high rain boot and what other type of shoe? They
that sounds like the worst combination ever.
They cost a reasonable $1,000. But you might not really mind the pain. You'd certainly be the most sharply dressed person in the room.
All right, we'll lock that in.
Let's lock it.
Okay. 3 states allow for the use of what type of execution only if the preferred method is not available? Chris and Jonathan, what'd you guys say?
Well, we failed miserably at parsing this question, but Chris, you had a song in your head that we never got around to.
I'm just the end of that. I don't think dirty jokes would make anyone on death row smile. And the lyric is, I'll tell you dirty jokes until you smile. And I cannot for the life of me come up with it. So I'm sure there's a clue that's that big and right in front of my face, and I can't get it. We did talk a little bit. I know that lethal injection is the primary method of execution in most states. There's at least one that will allow a firing squad, and I believe there are a couple that will allow the electric chair. So we wound up going with electric chair, and there's a hint there that I didn't get.
I thought the dirty joke was a joke about a morning constitutional being about poop, and meaning unconstitutional could be a reference of pooping your pants with the electric chair. But I think that's not the clue after all, since you found a song related to it.
Okay. We did have a lot of toilet references in this game. Diana and Joe, what did you say?
And Ranger references. It's funny how those went together.
So I went off the category title. If we didn't start, who did? So like we didn't start the fire.
Jesus.
We went with firing squad. I think that's a very not popular, but perhaps still possibly used form of execution in the States.
Yeah.
Did we talked a little bit about electric chair? We weren't sure, but I think we settled on firing squad.
We did. Okay. Yep. Firing squad.
Sure.
And number 2, a big, romantic, passionate, panicky man lives on what street in Little Italy? Diana and Joe.
We ended up going with mulberry. We talked about Burberry briefly.
I don't know many fruits that I don't see in the grocery store, but I feel like this is another Billy Joel song reference that I'm not aware of. And I feel like there is I walked through New York City a bit, and I might have walked down Mulberry Street, perhaps in Little Italy. So that's what we went with.
Okay. Jonathan and Chris?
We chose Mayberry because it seems like there's plenty of towns in different states called Mayberry, and you don't see a Mayberry. We assume Mayberry is a fruit and that we don't see it in stores. We didn't have any great confidence. If this was a Billy Joel themed gauntlet, I will be upset that I did not pick up on that. That would really make me sad.
You know, the ugly thing is I'm now hearing that song lyric in Billy Joel's voice, and this is going to kill me.
Uh-oh.
Great.
Okay.
Super. That'll be a third death.
The enemy of the podcast strikes again.
All right. Question 3. I'm going to read it, and then I have to let Anthony in because he forgot his key. Balenciaga partnered with Crocs to produce a knee-high rain boot and what other type of shoe? Diana and Joe, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, we just guessed high heel. It seems like something Balenciaga would do, and their high heels are pretty well known for causing pain, but you might not mind it if they're a reasonable $1,000 and made out of the Croc material.
You could write that ad campaign, I think.
Yeah, right.
You might not mind it.
We went a little bit more specific because of the clue at the end, or what we hope is a clue at the end, about sharply dressed. Stilettos are sharp. They're knives. So we thought that it might be stilettos.
Okay. So we're going to, I don't know where to start because y'all didn't agree on anything in this round. We're going to start with the end. The most sharply dressed person in the room. You guys figured it out eventually. If we didn't start the fire, who did? These are all based on Billy Joel lyrics.
No!
I'm sorry, Chris, for potentially causing your death. You seem like a great guy. The shoe, and I highly recommend looking this up because it is, again, the word of the episode has been abomination. This thing is insane. It is a Croc stiletto, and the Billy Joel song is Stiletto. She's so good with her stiletto, you don't really mind the pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a new lens on those questions.
Crap. Is there like some fruit called Sullivan?
We'll get there. Be patient. We're going to go back to question number 1. Although the Nebraska Supreme Court ruled it cruel and unusual, what form of execution is still used? This is from the song You May Be Right, I May Be Crazy. And the line is, I told you,
Electric chair.
Well, remember how I found you there alone in your electric chair? I told you dirty jokes until you smiled.
Yes.
Whoa, we got 2 of them, Chris.
Got 2 of them.
Man, if we got this middle one right, we would have a chance to win this game, dude. But I don't think we got it right.
And there was that song lyric out there someplace, but okay.
And the big, romantic, panicky, passionate man who lives in a street named for berries you won't find in stores. That is the song "The Big Man on Mulberry Street."
Oh, we were so close.
You said it.
Got one. So close. Oh God, I don't like it.
That much.
2 letters away. Mayberry to Mulberry.
Yeah. You said it, and I'm like, say it again, but different. Say it again, but different. All right, so it does come down to wagers. Let's start with Diana and Joe. Y'all had a commanding lead until the end. What did you wager?
Yeah, we wagered enough to cover if we got it and not trail if we missed it. So, yeah, 51.
Okay, and Chris and Jonathan, what'd you guys bet?
As soon as we saw the scores, we both said the same thing, same time. Well, they're going to bet 51, so we should bet 20 because they have to miss it for us to catch them. Yep, so we wagered 20, and honestly, we really had a shot, Chris. We really did.
Wow.
I was very quietly rooting for you guys, but alas, final scores: Chris and Jonathan 100, Diana and Joe 139. Hooray!
You don't need to be comfortable, and Joe. Apparently, you're already there. She's rooting against you.
That's fine. Yep. Happy to be back when I was an enemy of the podcast.
If y'all had come back on this gauntlet, that would have been super exciting, but instead it wasn't. So here we are.
It also would have been super surprising for us because I don't think we were confident about any of the answers.
Not a one. Nope. It was really fun watching y'all be like, there are so many question marks in y'all's chats.
I don't even know the Mulberry Street song for Billy Joel. I don't know that song.
He's written a lot of songs.
Yeah. For sure.
Just nothing in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Well, great game, guys. Great game.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a performance.
Joe and Diana, that's great.
Yeah, mostly Joe. I'm here for Pop-Tarts and Oreos.
Yeah, we knew we were pretty much done after you just crushed the warm it up Chris.
I knew we were done after the midpoint for sure. It's like, oh, beep. Oh, yeah. No.
I don't know if you were looking at Joe on the screen, but as soon as she said something about soccer rivalries, his eyes lit up, and you and I are just, whatever. We're done.
Yep. All right. Well, before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Joe, we'll start with you.
Sure. First, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure, whether I'm a friend or enemy of the podcast. Happy to be back. If you're in New York City, check out NYC Trivia League. I may be hosting at a venue. If you want to see me at a venue, let me know on whatever social medias is out there. Also, as a general, be cool to one another, be kind, be safe. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right, Diana, over to you.
Yeah, it was great being on the show again. Really enjoyed it. As far as shout out, I'm going to shout out a friend of mine. She has a book series for young girls that are STEM focused. It's called the Look Up series by Aubrey Andrus, available on Amazon. They're for young girls, and it goes over like engineering and scientists and all those sorts of jobs that aren't traditionally female. So if you have young ones in your life, Christmas is coming up. So take a look.
What's the age range for those?
I would say elementary school.
Cool.
To middle school. Mm-hmm.
Very nice. That's the Look Up series. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Chris.
That was a ton of fun. I felt like we were taking just bullet wound after bullet wound from Joe and Diana, but it was,
body shots.
Blast. That was great. Yeah, I loved it. And Erin, wonderful questions. And the best kind of questions when you've got that hint that it's like, I know this. I don't know this, but I really do know this. I guess the two shout outs, just based on what Diana was saying, I'm going to shout out my daughter because she will have her master's in civil engineering / transportation and urban planning come December. So
awesome.
I'm all
Congrats.
All for that. And she absolutely loves it. She's going to be working in Jonathan's favorite town.
Oh, they could use the help.
I'm a big boss.
The worst roads in the history of the U.S.
And then I guess the other plea that I would make to everybody is it seems like right now we've lost the ability to disagree without becoming sort of reprehensible parodies of what human beings should be. And I would just say let's try to be a little more understanding, because you and I can disagree, but that doesn't mean that you are bad. And I think if we had a little more interpersonal compassion, I think we would do better than where we are now. So I'm cheering for them.
Yeah.
Love
Amen.
that. Very good. Well, that is going to wrap us up. So for Joe, for Diana, for Chris, and for Erin, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 451 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
By the way, Skype can F off. Skype, I logged into Skype this morning, and it's giving me, like, news. Like, I just want to come on here and make a few phone calls. It's giving me, like, a front page with headlines of this. I'm like, get that out of it. What are you doing? Not happy. Everybody else in the world is like, you're using Skype? None of us noticed that. Diana, you could try just clicking the camera button off and then on again, and sometimes that fixes it. It's off, and come back, Shane. Nobody's going to get that either,
Yeah.
Chris.
I know of that reference to Jim.
You do? Hey, that reference is older than I am. All right, now that's just an instrument playing. What the beep?
That was the spring on my mic arm.
Are you kidding? It sounded like a guitar string.
I know.
Bong.
Yeah.
I've got my saxophone over here, and I see Joe's got it.
I do have my guitar if we want to
We'll
get
jam.
something
Cat
going.
keyboard.
Hold on. You have that sound. Here's what I get. Do they all sound like that? I've never actually done that. Oh, they're different tunes. Get out the beep out of here.
A little stop musical with the podcast.
They're all different notes.